Today we're going to learn how to take a picture on your iPad and move it to your Google Drive so you can work with it and use it in your presentations. So we're going to start from the very beginning, the very basics of this task. You'll find the icon on your iPad that looks like a camera, and you'll select that, and you'll see that my camera comes up, and your teacher will give you an assignment and tell you what you need to take pictures of. I'm going to take a picture of this rectangle. So I've taken my picture, and then I'll come back down and press the home button, which is the button at the bottom of your screen. I'll press the home button, and the place that you'll look for this photograph after you've taken it is here in your photo in your camera roll. It looks like a flower. So if I click there, here is the picture that I took, and you'll notice that once I tap the picture, I have some options up here. It looks like a box with an arrow, and I'm going to tap that box, and I'm going to look across this row of options here. One of the options might be to email this if we had email set up on this iPad, but the option you're going to look for is this Google Drive triangle. So I'm going to tap that triangle. And remember, what we are attempting to do is move this picture off of the iPad into your Google Drive so you can find it from any device where you are logged into your Google Drive. So it says select user. I'm going to select the user, and because my name is not here, I'm going to add an account, and you'll do the same thing. You will enter your email address, because that is your Google Drive username, and you will say next, and then you will enter your password. This is the same password you use to get into any device where you're logging in at school, and I'll say next. And you'll notice now that the username is actually my email address, so that's what you want to appear under username. The next little box under my username tells me that right now, if I upload this picture, it's just going to go in my Google Drive. You can actually click on my drive and choose a folder if you want to, where you want to put your picture, or you can create a new folder for this picture if you want to. So I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it, let's call it Geometry Project. Geometry, I like capital letters for titles. Geometry Project. Now I've created a folder, so when I hit create, the name of that folder appears at the top of the box, and I'm going to say save here. So what I'm telling this iPad is I want to save the photo I just took into this folder in my Google Drive. So I'll click save here. You can actually, and then I have to hit upload to finish that process. So you can watch it happen, and once it's done, it comes back to the photograph that I took. So let's check and be sure that that photograph is actually in my Google Drive. I'm going to come down and punch the home button at the bottom of the screen, and then I'm going to look for my Google Drive icon. I have mine in a little folder, so I'm going to use the little triangle, click the triangle button, and I'm going to have to sign in again. But look, now since I have actually used this account on this iPad, all I have to do is select my name, and it logs me into my Google Drive. Now, where did we put the picture that we took with this iPad? Well, we put it in a folder called Geometry Project. So if I look down my list of folders, and there are lots of folders in my Google Drive, I should find a folder called Geometry Project, and there it is. So if I open the Geometry Project folder, there is the photograph that I took of my little rectangle. So that completes the process of getting the photograph into your Google Drive. The next step before you leave the iPad is very, very important. We're going to sign out of your Google Drive on this iPad because we've moved the picture. It is safely stored in your Google Drive, but we don't want someone else to be able to come up, pick up this iPad, and have access to all the things in our Google Drive. So the next step we're going to go through is actually signing you out of this iPad. So to do that, we are going to go back to your drive, and if you'll come up to the top, see the three little lines? You're going to click the three little buttons on the left. You'll see your username. That's my username. I'm going to click the little bitty arrow that's right here, and I'm going to choose Manage Accounts. I'm going to find mine, make sure it's checked, and click Manage again, and then I'm given the option to remove my account from this iPad. I'm going to click Remove. It asks me if I'm sure that's what I want to do. I'm going to click Remove again, and I'm signed out of my Google Drive on this iPad. And remember, this is a very important step, because if you don't do this, the next person who picks up this iPad has access to everything in your Google Drive, and that may be work that you need to turn in, that may be something that's important to you, so it's very important to sign out. We'll get to the next step in the next video.